In this video, I'd like to share with you some tips on how I like to use the Telecaster for a straight ahead bebop jazz guitar sound. For all the purposes and examples in this video, I'm just using my 2009 Rode 1 Telecaster. The neck pickup has an Alnico Pro 2 and the bridge is a Broadcaster. The strings are 10 to 46 round wound, and other than that, that's pretty much it. The amp which I'm using is a PV Backstage 110, and I'm recording that with a condenser microphone. Let's get into some of the tips. Just before we begin the video, I'd like to tell you about a free beginner jazz guitar course which I have available for anyone that is new to learning jazz guitar. I've put this jazz guitar course together to break down jazz guitar in a coherent and structured way. There are over 25 4K video lessons and a 40-page downloadable PDF to help you get started. Each module comes with downloadable PDFs, chord diagrams, etudes and studies to help you get started learning the wonderful art of jazz. So this is the Telecaster sound, which I really like. It's got articulation, but it's also quite dark, even on the high strings. Which to me is quite a big difference if I put everything all the way open. That's just a little bit too bright. It's very articulate, which is good, but there's a little bit too much high end. So I like to maybe roll the volume off by a couple of digits. So if I put the tone, I'll back the tone off and I'll show you the difference on volume. So the volume now is on full. And now if I back it off to around 8. It just takes that high end off. And generally what I like to do is set the amp louder than what I need to be at, so I've got some more headroom, especially on a gig situation. And even when I'm teaching, it's nice if you need a little bit more volume just to have access to it right there. So that's one thing. Now this particular guitar has no treble bleed. Some Telecasters do actually have a treble bleed, and what that means is once you're on full volume, as you bring the volume down, the amount of treble stays the same as you work down the volume. But I like to remove that kind of high end, and I think it gives you a better jazz sound personally. So that's one thing that I recommend to do. Now, to get a good jazz sound, it's all about right hand technique really, more than anything. So what you want to do is try and pick as lightly as possible. So once you've got your tone and your volume working for you, if I just kind of play a melody to something, getting a good jazz sound is all about playing the notes as light as possible. So if I'm using a pick, I want to try and go over the neck pickup and get that kind of plunky sound going if I'm going for kind of the 50s jazz guitar sound. If that already starts to soften up the sound a little bit, especially on chords. You want to strum chords quick if you want that kind of sound. And to me that starts to kind of give you that kind of, that 50s jazz guitar bebop sound, which I think this guitar really kind of excels at. That kind of Tal Farlow kind of thing. But there are other sounds available that you can get from the same guitar. So if I now put the pick down and use the thumb, then this will also kind of mellow out the sound considerably. And this will give you a good sound on any guitar, because you really start to get more of the sound of the flesh and less of the guitar and more of yourself. So if you want that kind of George Benson Wes sound, using the thumb is fantastic, and the same things apply. Just try and keep things light. pick, if I now start to get my fingers involved, I think it has that kind of Joe Pass fingerstyle kind of sound as well. Of course, Joe Pass was a fingerstyle player, but at the time of recording this, I've actually got my right hand fingernails short, but you can get the same type of sound, I think. One other reason why I like the Telecaster so much is how much articulation and clarity you get in chords in the low end. So if you're kind of playing, especially in that lower end of the instrument, then everything's super clear. And if you're playing solo guitar, everything is super articulate and even. So those are some of my tips on how you can get a good Telecaster jazz tone. What do you guys think? I hope that these help you out. Really, you can kind of start with any Telecaster. I like this Telecaster more because of the kind of nitro finish and the worn down neck. It's more about the feel. So that's very subjective. The sound really is kind of, you can get that from any Telecaster as long as you've got a half decent neck pickup and you've got the right hand and the right touch on the instrument, then that's where it's all about. And that's why I like Telecasters so much, is you kind of get out what you put in. So if you're having a great day, then Telecasters can reflect that. But it also, if you're not playing so well or having a particularly good day playing wise, then Telecasters can be kind of unforgiving in that respect as well. I like them because they're so kind of comfortable. This is a particularly light one, which is great, so I can just pick it up, play, and I've got every kind of sound that I want all available. So, you know, a jazz guitar, they're wonderful things too, and of course, you know, I've got those because they are beautiful sounds. But equally, as an everyday guitar, Telecaster's like a toothbrush. So yeah, that's why I like them so much. I hope this video helps you out. If it did, then please consider subscribing to this channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.